going on, Jeromes? It's a beautiful Sunday. Your Minnesota Fighting Vikings, thankfully, won't stress you out today. They don't play until Monday Night Football. Taking on the crooked Chicago Bears. So we're doing an impromptu Jeromes get-together in St. Paul down at the Truck Park / New Bohemia. We'll be all up in there for the noon games. Be there around, 11:30-ish. Taking some sights, have a couple of brews, have a couple of weird bratwursts. It's not code. So there you go. If you're around, come and hang out, and we'll chew the fat and all that good stuff. Also good stuff is the Vikings wearing the throwback uniforms on Monday night against the Bears. So the warm week one didn't quite work out. So we got to cleanse the stench from that first week against Chicago. So I think the Vikings certainly do that. Also, in other uniform news, so the Vikings will be playing the Detroit Lions on Christmas Eve. It's their second Christmas Eve game in a row. Last year, the Vikings put the bang thing on the Giants. Wish I could say that the Vikings beat the Giants twice at home. It is what it is. But the whiteout is great now. Could they have added a white helmet? I mean, you're allowed to have alternate helmets this year, or in recent years, so do that up. But buried the lead. The Vikings announced that they're going to do a whiteout 2.0, so that's going to be fantastic. Watch for that on Christmas Eve. And it's always funny, like when they do white end zones, obviously they have to leave a colored border around. Otherwise, is he in? I don't know. Probably. There you go. And also, they do have to get that ready because state high school football went down over the weekend, and they still had the purple end zones. Props to Janhassen. Onions going for it in overtime. Love to see it, man. Also, love to see is the downfall of the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. So, Aon, where's our Rodgers graphic? Oh, there it is. So, Aon Rodgers is quite possibly the worst general manager in NFL history because he's basically taken over the Jets. And Nathaniel Hackett is only the OC because Rodgers is there. Alan Lazard only signed a $44 million deal with the Jets because Rodgers said so. Billy Turner, Randall Cobb, Tim Boyle, who was ass in college and has been ass as a career NFL backup, he's only there because Aon Rodgers said so. And Dalvin only signed with the Jets because Rodgers like, there we go. Apparently, Dalvin's agent was wrong about his market. But, yeah, Rodgers did the Jets a huge disservice. And the Jets, it's really unfortunate. Jets fans do deserve better. And, yes, the Vikings and the Jets do have the dumbest rivalry in sports history, but they don't deserve this. And also, Joe Douglas is probably going to get fired. And Rob Saleh, our guy, Rob Saleh, running down the wing, is probably going to get fired too because someone's got to take a fall for this. And I cannot wait until Rodgers somehow, some way, connives Jets ownership to make Nathaniel Hackett their new head coach. Cackle, but whatever. I mean, it's par for the course for the Jets fans, and it's just really unfortunate because they had hopes coming into the season, hopes and dreams down the drain. Also, I want to note that Rodgers, even though he's being a good teammate, but he really is making all the coverage about him. Because if he didn't want to make the coverage about him, he could enter the locker room way beforehand, or I'm sure that there's back entrances that he could sneak into, but he's very cognizant of where the cameras are. And in pregame warm-ups, he's always out there throwing balls, make sure the camera sees it. And on the sidelines, he's wearing the headset, making sure that the camera sees it. When Kirk Cousins is healthy enough to be in the facility and stand on the sidelines, he's not going to make it all about him. And there's the difference because Rodgers is still the biggest star on his team. Kirk Cousins is all about team. Yeah, like after he popped his Achilles, his first question was, or cheering on the offense, first question when the guy in the locker room, hey, did we win? That's the type of guy that Kirk Cousins is. And he's going to help Josh Dobbs. He's going to help Jaron Hall. But he's also not going to make it all about him. It's ridiculous, man. Like, could you imagine Kirk walking into the locker room before a Vikings game where Josh Dobbs is set to make a start, wearing like the Kirko Chains outfit? Come on, man. But rooting interest on Sunday. Actually, most of the games went the Vikings' way for the most part on Thanksgiving. So as of right now, the Vikings are firmly in the 6th seed. Seattle losing helps. It would have been nice if Washington showed up against the Cowboys, but whatever. And then, of course, the Lions. The Lions losing does help, and I know people are like, well, aren't you scared about the Packers? No. No one cares about the Packers. But basically, I mean, it's sort of tangential. But the Rams, Falcons, Buccaneers. I guess. I mean, if they all lost, so it would be what? Wait, what do we say again? Rams, Falcons, Buccaneers. So, I mean, someone's got to win the NFC South, so it may as well be the Saints because we'll beat their ass anyway. We'll beat the Falcons' ass too. But I guess go Saints. I guess go Colts, and I guess go Cardinals. So there you go. Just add a little bit of padding and some space in between those playoff places. But I mean, overall, there isn't really a ton. Yeah. Well, I mean, Buffalo could beat Philly. I mean, we'll take that, sure. But there you go at this point in time. But college football. So Gophers end up with 5 wins. I couldn't get it done against Northwestern. They couldn't seal it out. Couldn't get it done numerous times. Couldn't get it done on the road against a very bad Purdue team. Couldn't get it done against the Badgers. But Brett McMurphy, Minnesota loses to Wisconsin, so only 8 teams are alive to fill final 5 spots. Minnesota, however, is atop the APR rankings for 5 and 7 teams, so would still get a bid if there ends up being only 79 bowl-eligible teams. We're currently at 77. So, yes, the Gophers could get invited to a bowl game with 5 wins. I don't know, man. Like I understand like it would be a great experience for the kids and whatnot, but I want PJ Fleck to succeed very badly because sort of like Kevin O'Connell. Like I like to see positivity win, and PJ is probably the most positive person there is out there. But is his shtick starting to wear a little bit thin? Forget family, forget about me. I love you, that whole thing. But PJ is a good recruiter. I don't think that he's good at X's and O's. I don't think he's good at game management. I don't think he's good at being aggressive. I don't think that he's good at having good assistants under him, especially on the offensive coordinator side of things. I just don't see the Gophers turning a corner. I think that they have plateaued. He's done some great things for this program. But also, remember Jerry Kill? You see what he's doing with like New Mexico State? I mean, come on, baby. Come on. But ask yourself a question. Will the Gophers get to the next level, winning Big Ten West titles with PJ? I don't know. Or is PJ going to be in play for the Texas A&M job? Who knows? Who knows, man? But like I said, I'm like a tangential Gophers fan by geographical default, but I like to see them do well because I got a lot of friends and family who are Gophers fans. But I don't know. Like, this is like crotchety old man thing, but I don't like that PJ basically makes the program about him. I don't like that he leads the team out the tunnel. Just like, I mean, Dabo Sweeney running on the stupid hill. It's so dumb. Or, yeah, the Gophers winning on a technicality against the Hawkeyes, and then PJ still jumping and doing his mosh pit thing in the locker room. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. Also ridiculous. So, I got no reaction about the Iron Bowl. Although Jalen Moreau, the Milroe miracle, woo, right in the corner of the end zone. Wide receiver pushed off, but they're never going to call that. But see, this is one of the reasons why I also don't like going to too many games because the reactions in the stands. Because I know that I will wear my emotions on my sleeves and be like, Also, very suggestively eating burritos or nachos at a game. Can't have that. I can't live on in infamy as a meme. Can't do it, man. Also, so Dion Sanders. I know that Dion got a lot of flack, but mainly it should be the media who covered 3-0 Colorado like they're the next big thing. But, I mean, they finished 1-8 down the stretch in their final 9 games. But, frankly, I mean, this was a one-win program last year. And, yes, there was a lot of turnover in personnel, but Colorado simply is not a competitive team right now. And even with Shedeur and Silo Sanders, and even with Hunter, I mean, they're very talent bereft right now, especially in the trenches. Now, Dion seems to be a fantastic recruiter, seems to be fantastic in the transfer portal. So can he beef up an offensive line that can actually protect his kid? Because I think Shedeur Sanders is going to play on Sundays. I truly believe that he's going to be a very talented player. But it's really hard to judge his tape because of the protection that he has around him. But I think that Dion, Well, first off, I don't think Dion's going to be a one and done in Colorado. I think that he's going to be there for at least 2-3 years. But I do think that Dion, give him a couple more classes, especially build those trenches, and I think he'll be able to build a very decent program there in Boulder. Speaking of decent, so guys who already look decent in purple and gold, woo, woo. Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, frankly, should win the Heisman. I know that it will probably come down to Penix or Bo Nix as they clash head-to-head again in the Pac-12 title game, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jaden Daniels, 5 bajillion touchdowns. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's had his Heisman moments in his games. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, Jaden Daniels is probably Arizona State formerly. I would love to have him in purple. Like, whether they bring back Cousins, whether they bring back Dobbs. I mean, spending a late first-round pick on Jaden Daniels, if he lasts that long, let's go. Let's go, man. So, a little bit of a tangent. Actually, hell, this entire channel is a tangent. So, I'm adopted, right? And I was raised in a very Caucasian, Norwegian, German family. I was raised in a very white, rural Minnesotan community, right? Trying to think of the word for town. I never dated an Asian woman. My wife is white. My kids are half white. All that stuff, but all that background is really unimportant. But I've noticed. So, backing up even further. So I know that I'm pretty. I know I'm a good looking man. Except I never calibrated myself in the eyes of Asian women. Like I have no. I have no knowledge of where I stand in terms of the hierarchy of Team Yellow, like if Asian women found me attractive or not. But I'm starting to see some cracks in the armor. So I have, so like 50-plus-year-old Asian women. When I'm out with my kids, like if we're in a restaurant, if we're out grocery shopping, if we're out at like an Asian market, 50-plus-year-old Asian women will always stop me and my kids and be like, "Oh, they're so cute. Oh, they're so adorable." I'm allowed to do that voice. But also, you'll find out that especially really older Asian women don't give a fudge. They're like, "Oh, they're so cute. Are they half?" But again, I'm starting to see that I must be really good looking or endearing to 50-plus-year-old Asian women, because whenever we're in an Asian restaurant or wherever we're in a casino, which there's only 2 types of people in casinos: Asians and old. Wait, no, 3 types of people: Asians, old people, and old Asians. That's it. But every single time, like a 45, 50-year-old Asian lady sees me, they're always giving me the eyes. Like, now, I'm a relatively humble guy, so maybe it's completely misconstrued. But, so I ran this by a couple of my friends, and they actually gave me a good theory for once. They actually said that, so Asian families put a lot of stress on education and, succeeding, right? And me, like, even though, I was basically raised white, born in Asia, very Asian. I speak with relatively decent grammar at times. I know a couple $6 words. I'm generally educated. Winona State, the Harvard of the Midwest. I'm relatively successful in various fields. So I'm like, they're looking at me because I'm their dreamboat. I speak good. I speak good English, and I have $1 or $2, and I can provide for them in retirement. That's their dream. I don't know, man. But it's always 50-year-olds plus. But as I get older, I guess it's not so bad. Anyways, I don't know what we accomplished there. But that's it. Aon Rodgers is a horrible general manager, and also some rooting interest. There you go. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, Jerome's MeetUp. Let's talk about it. My effect on older Asian women. There you go. You know what to do. Skull, production value.